Hey everyone, my name is Sima. Welcome back to my channel. A long time no see. I don't even feel like it has been forever since I've posted an actual talking to you video on this channel, probably over 2 years. I did do one very brief unboxing of a bunch of Neopets cards, but I don't really consider that a video. I mostly did it so that I could put it on Discord for a bunch of my Neopets buddies, and then I figured since I was doing it anyway, I would do it and put it on here. But I didn't use my camera setup, I didn't do any of the normal stuff, I just kind of sat on OBS, had my webcam on my shitty little Mac film me, and sort of did everything over there, so it was not quite the same experience, and I wouldn't really consider it like a channel video even though it's on the channel. And then there's also like a couple fan videos on there. My most recent one I'm actually a huge fan of. It's Yuri on Ice, Odebek, Yuri Plisetsky sort of edit with the first half of the song Young God by Halsey, which that whole album is so good for any kind of like teenage angst, teenage romance thing you want to play with. It's perfect. It's so teenager. Like, it really is. Blue-haired Halsey, girl, I miss you so much. But I'm really proud of that one. I think it's the one I've done the most effectively, in the sense that I'm still not super happy with the last third of it, but in the end result feels the most like my mental visual of what I wanted to do is. And I do think that does in part go because Yuri on Ice is so short that it was really easy to basically go back and watch every clip that has Yuri Plisetsky in it and then pull exactly what I needed. Whereas my 3 other ones I've done, 2 of them have been Detroit Become Human videos, which there's 8 gazillion different run-throughs of that game, and it's so hard to find like full gameplay footage that's like good quality. And because it's gameplay footage, it's not the kind of thing where I can really go and do it myself very easily. So I would have to like go find YouTube videos and then use those and kind of work with what I could find. And then one of them was a Dean Winchester edit. Detroit Become Human ones, one of them was a Connor video set to New Invention by I Don't Know How, which I think is just such a perfect Connor song. And my concept for that one I think is pretty good. And some of the execution I like, but I think knowing what I do now, I would have done it differently. And then my Marcus one is the song, God, what is it called? It's a Yumi at 6 called Miracle in the Morning by Yumi at 6, which again, I thought was just such a good Marcus song. And it's also just highly underrated. Not enough people listen to Yumi at 6. So that one also had its moments, but again, it suffered, I think, from the exact same issues as the Connor one, where it was like, because I was building off of other people's videos on YouTube for the visuals, it was really hard to find the exact bits I needed and kind of do it. And then there was a lot of inconsistencies, like some of them would have subtitles for the dialogue and some of them wouldn't, and like in an ideal world I would have none of them have subtitles and none of them be the parts of the game that have actual like sequences where you're moving. What are they called? God damn, my brain's not working. Those sequences where we're pressing buttons and it like gives you options, because I find are kind of distracting. And then for the Dean Winchester one, which was another I Don't Know How song, I did it to Modern Day Kane, because I've been waiting for like years for somebody to use that song on a Dean edit, because literally he had the mark of Cain. It was like right there. I don't know why nobody's done it, and if they have, I haven't been able to find it, so the SEO is probably pretty poor. That one, again, the concept, so fucking good. The execution could have been so much better, because again, I just did not have time to go through all 15 seasons of Supernatural to find the exact perfect gifs of Dean Winchester, who is in almost every single episode of that show. Like, it's just not happening. So I kind of went off of memory and then tried to find scenes that I was pretty sure existed. I keep touching my eye, not realizing I have glitter and it's falling everywhere. Not realizing that I needed to, like, I just going off of what I could find, which was not exactly what I necessarily needed. But I think with all 3 of those, the end result still kind of conveyed what I wanted it to. It just wasn't like as nice as I would like. With this most recent one, the first like minute is perfect. It's so perfect. I would not change a thing. I think there's one scene I wish I could have squeezed in there, and I probably could have, if I tried harder, squeezed it into the last third, but it would have relied on me cutting 2 other scenes, either shorter or removing one entirely, and I didn't want to do that because the entire like Welcome to the Madness sequence is just so iconic that I could not cut the glove thing, obviously, or the shoot thing, the finger guns thing at the end. I just couldn't do it, which left me no room for putting in the one scene that I wish I could have added, which is the first ever scene where you see Odebek and Yuri and they make like eye contact, and Yuri kind of looks like startled, and it's just like such a moment, because it's such a like crack in his like whole thing, and it's just really fun. So I wish I could have put that in there, but I couldn't. I think if I decided to do the whole song, I absolutely could have, but because Yuri's 15, there wasn't really any way to do the second half of that song and not feel like a giant weirdo. So we just decided to just cut it off there. And luckily that song is a very good song to cut in half, because the like part after that, like the first half, it kind of trails off before going into the second half. So you can cut it really nicely and it sounds pretty complete. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. I was just giving all that context to say this is my first real video back on this channel. It's not particularly planned. I was at a thing earlier and my makeup looked really good, and I was not out there long enough to feel like I had really gotten everything I wanted to get out of this makeup. So I thought, what a great time to come back and sort of film this. That's why I'm also staring at myself into, like, I usually try to look into like the camera. I'm staring at myself in the viewfinder because I'm really, even though I've had this makeup on for so many hours now, like probably at least 12, it still looks so freaking good. Like, actually, I'm obsessed with it. I hope it looks as good. Hi, Luna. I hope it looks as good like on camera or like on anyone's screens as it does like in real life, but I'm like really obsessed with it. Anyway, it seemed like such a shame to not film a video in it, and I figured I've been wanting to do sort of like a mini update now that I can actually come back to YouTube. So this is that. It's really off the cuff. The couple things I wanted to say are, one, I'm done school officially. It's done. I am just trying to sort of get my life together and spend the next couple weeks kind of like doing some adult stuff, getting some shit in order so that I can actually go back to having an actual schedule where I stream sometimes and I film sometimes and actually put out content on a regular basis. I really want to commit to that. I think when I come back with videos, they're gonna be on a more regular basis. I don't think, this might change, but I don't think I'm going to go back to one a week. I'm kind of thinking I want to focus more on quality over quantity. So I think for now I'm gonna not commit to that, or maybe I'm gonna commit to like 2 a month instead of 4 a month, and kind of do it on that kind of basis. That being said, if I feel like my quality isn't actually going up and I'm just like slacking off more, I will go back to just 1 a week just to make sure I'm doing it. I really want to come back. I really want to sort of drive my channel into high gear again. I have a lot of ideas. I have a whole Notion document with a bunch of ideas in it and stuff. My one issue, I guess, is I kind of have a lot of conflicting ideas that I want to do, and like, I know YouTube doesn't really like that, or like the algorithm doesn't really like that. When you do a lot of different things, it makes it kind of hard to recommend you to people, which I don't know how much I care about the algorithm. I mostly just like to yap, and I hope other people like to listen to me yap, but I do think I should maybe try a couple things, figure out what other people also enjoy listening to me yap about, and then kind of focus more on that. But I do want to try a couple things. I do want to go back to the makeup stuff. Fewer hauls. I'm really trying to not do hauls anymore. I have way too much makeup. I'm really thinking I should do some kind of like de-stash, shop my stash, project pan situation where I'm using a lot of what I already have. And then I have contacts now. I don't know if you guys could tell. The reason I can see and I'm not squinting like I normally do, usually I take my glasses off and I have no idea what I'm looking at, but I have my contacts in. I've been wearing contacts more, so that's cool. So I want to do that on the makeup front. I definitely want to go back to doing media stuff. I had a lot of fun doing my Throwing Through the Wall series. I think there's a lot of potential there, so I'd like to continue that. The problem with that is it requires me to watch things or consume media, which I haven't had time to do at all, really. But I do want to get back into it, so that's another thing. I want to, I think, do more of those series that I did on here for like Devil's Part-Timer, where I think I did one for that Joker show, Kai 2 Joker or something, that other anime, where like people present me with either like just characters from one show, or I might like open some kind of like Instagram submission thing and have my friends or people I know send me characters, and then have me like try to figure out like what they're about or what kind of character they are, solely based on like the images. I think that's quite fun, especially when I'm really off. I may try to make it the kind of thing where I do that, don't post the video, watch the thing if it's not too long, and then cut from that to like my reactions and realizing how right or wrong I was. I think that would be really funny, but it would require, again, the foresight of filming in 2 separate periods of time and then putting those together and remembering to do all that. But I think that could be funny. I have thought about doing some kind of, I find React content generally to be kind of lazy, but I think there are ways to do it that are not lazy that I would be interested in doing it, potentially. So one of those was kind of like, I was thinking, I feel really weird and awkward being like, journalist reacts to, because I feel like I don't, it's a weird imposter syndrome thing, even though I have a journalism degree, where I feel like I don't qualify as a journalist, even though I also work in journalism. I think it's because in my brain I conflate journalist and reporter, and those aren't the same thing. Like, I do journalism, but I don't do reporting on a regular basis. But anyway, I kind of want to do like a journalist reacts to X depiction of like journalism in the media, because I get really irritated every time they introduced a female journalist into anything, and then she immediately like breaks 25 different ethical boundaries of journalism and then starts like sleeping with her sources, and I'm like, this isn't how anything works actually. This is horrific. You know that, right? Like, this is highly unethical, and you're making all of us look bad. So I kind of want to do some more of that stuff where I actually feel like I could offer a potentially interesting perspective, as opposed to just being like that guy that's watching something and then nodding along and then being like, yeah, that was really cool, I thought that was really funny. Like, so much React content is just a guy watching something and then restating what they just watched to you, the viewer who has also watched it with them, and it's just not fun. So that was one thing I was thinking of, which is would be new for my channel. I did briefly think about doing more kind of like longer form researched videos. I kind of did one a little bit like on stand culture, like when I first started my channel, but I hate that video. I hate it so much. I think the content and what I'm saying is fine, but it's so not well executed. But I think that concept or like that kind of video, I think I would like to do if I did it better. And so I was thinking maybe starting off with some of the essays I wrote in university would be maybe a good place to start, because I could just turn those into videos, and the research will have already been done, and I will have already known that like there's material to talk about, and I'll see how those do. And so I think I'm gonna do these things and then go from there in terms of figuring out what works, what doesn't work, what do I want to keep doing, what am I still inspired to keep doing. I do want to do some more makeup stuff too, where it's like trying to look like X, recreating X makeup look, do your makeup to remind you of X character, like the kind of Five Nights at Freddy's things I was doing before I went on break. Stuff like that. So that's kind of where the channel is heading. Life updates. I finished school, like I said, which is really exciting. I moved. You probably can tell I'm not where I usually film. I am in a new location. This is my bedroom. I used to film in the living room of my old place. I don't live alone anymore, so I can't really do that anymore. So I could, but I would feel really awkward about it. So we're doing it in my bedroom now. And this bedroom's bigger than my old one anyway. So like, while it's still kind of tight, like this situation is not ideal. It's like very, I wish I could show you what I'm looking at right now, but it's like we're working hard to make this ring light situation work. But I'm going to probably be filming in here, which is nice. I think the lighting should be better. It's nighttime right now, but behind you, not me, behind you, there's like a pretty big window. It's on an angle, like I'm on a diagonal from it, but I think if I pull the blinds up during the day, I should get pretty good light, which will also help for makeup stuff too, because I can't just rely on the ring light. It's very harsh. I don't even know how the ring light's looking right now on actual camera, because I haven't tweaked my settings since I moved to the new place, and I know things are really different. And like, it looks relatively fine in the viewfinder, but I could be totally wrong about that. So that's the content I want to do. We're at a new place. I have a lot of wall art, which is quite fun. Maybe I'll show you guys that one day. I'm quite proud of my wall art. You can sort of see some of my Neopet stuff back there. Yeah, back there. There we go. I don't know how angles work. My Neopet stuff's back there. I have some Neopets plushies also back there. Up there, you can't really see them, but I have some. Hold on, let me see if I can make you guys see it. Oh God. There we go. Look at all that wall art. Yeah, we got some Hades, we got some other stuff. There we go. Okay. Hopefully I return to frame and I'm straight and stuff. Well, I am straight, but I'm level is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I like the new place quite a bit. So that's why I'm here. I did want to kind of apologize because I feel like I built up all this stuff with the Queer Eyeing Myself series, and then I didn't actually do the big finale. And what actually happened is I did go see My Chemical Romance twice. It was fun. I'm seeing them again this summer, which is crazy. But what ended up happening is I started to I forgot to film a bunch of stuff I did want to film. And then on the day of the show, I kind of tried to film, but it was so hectic that I didn't really film as much as I wanted to. And the stuff I did film was kind of not great because I was also trying to not. This was a bad opportunity for me to try vlogging for the first time is what I'm trying to say. It was really awkward. I felt really weird doing it, so I just stopped. And so I didn't really have enough footage to do the big finale that I had in my head. That being said, I have a lot of life updates. I don't know if I'm going to do them all right now, but I do think I'm going to continue doing, maybe not like, again, under that title of like queer eyeing myself. I haven't really decided on that part yet, but I do think I want to do life updates, maybe not once a month, but like every once in a while. I think I do want to do like a get ready with me life update situation where I kind of talk about what's going good, what am I struggling with, where are we at, what are we working on. I do still want to be on my self-improvement grind. I do think I fell off of it a little bit because I was so focused on finishing school, but I don't have that as an excuse anymore. Like, school is done. Your girl has a master's degree now in everything but name, so there isn't really any reason to not kind of get back on that. I do want to start exercising again. I was at the doctor this week, and this is unrelated. I was already planning on starting exercising again and doing like getting back on my self-improvement grind, but I also was at the doctor this week because I was renewing my birth control pills that I take for my polycystic ovarian syndrome, and they took my blood pressure and they were like, it's high, so we don't want to give you the same birth control that has estrogen in it. We're going to put you on a progesterone only pill. So today is going to be my first day of that, and oh my god, hold on. My face and hands look two completely different colors on this. Oh my god. They're not in real life, I swear. Whoa, that's crazy. Anyway, look at my Carmico shirt. That's why I'm doing the blue and the yellow, by the way. If it wasn't clear, it's because I'm wearing my Carmico Starfall and the matching pants. But anyway, I do want to, as a result of that, also, I think the stuff I was already planning to do, I extra want to do it now because I'm hoping I can, if the blood pressure thing is like an actual issue, which I still actually don't know. We're going in this week for like a recheck / discussion. But I'm hoping if it is a thing, it's the kind of thing where if I start working out and like improve just like my cardio, it will go down enough where I won't have to be medicated for it. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor. So we'll see how that goes. But either way, even if that's not the case, I do still want to get to I think just like a working out situation again going, because I've been off that for a while. What else? Oh my god, my brain is just like not working because it's in my defense, it's 4:41 a.m. What else happened in my life the past couple years? Oh yeah, I brought my phone over here because I was literally gonna go on Instagram, except my phone is not turning on. One second, let me get my phone turn on. What else did I do? So yeah, I saw My Chemical Romance. I see other bands. Oh my god, I didn't even tell you guys. I covered a music festival. Speaking of reporting, I did do one instance of reporting that was quite fun. I covered All Your Friends Fest for work, and that was really cool. I was in the fucking photo pit for Fall Out Boy, which is crazy. Like, actually genuinely crazy. I did try to get an interview with them, but I also knew I was not going to get an interview with them because they don't really do interviews all that often. But I did try. I did request it. But I requested it knowing that I would regret it for the rest of my life if I didn't request it. But also knowing that I was probably more likely than not actually never going to hear back. And I didn't, which was fine. I talked to lots of other people. I talked to the members of the Main. I talked to Stereos. I talked to Jimmy Eat World. I talked to these like local bands. This like one local band from Montreal and this other one that was from London, Ontario. I was supposed to talk to Fifi Dobson, but with scheduling and stuff, it didn't really work out. I talked to, I think that's no, I talked about way more people. I'm just blanking. But anyway, that was quite fun and very cool and very surreal, because the whole reason I went to J school is because I really wanted to be, and this is a child's interpretation of what being a journalist is like, probably very informed by these really shitty journalism movies I was mentioning earlier. But I really wanted to like be able to like meet bands that I was a huge fan of, and I'm sure 13-year-old me had this like fantasy that I would like fall in love with like the lead singer of whatever band and on the job, and it would be this huge romantic thing. Girl, relax. Anyway, so I went to J school because I wanted to go into music journalism, and I didn't end up going into music journalism, obviously. I just went into like straight news and not even really the reporting side of things, which would be anyway where you'd predominantly be meeting people, but like a lot of the like more back end stuff. Because anxiety, which my therapist wants me to work on that. She's like, I don't want you to not be doing reporting because you're scared of it. I want you to not be doing it because you just decided you don't like it. So you should probably explore that and not let a guy from journalism school traumatize you, which is essentially what did happen. Is I had this really horrific interview experience in one of my business journalism classes that like scared me off of interviewing people. And so now, unless I'm like positive this person really wants to talk to me, so like it's like not like a business thing or a news thing, it's like a entertainment thing or like a personal story, or it is like a news thing, but I'm talking to like the people that want to talk to me, like the victims, and not like chasing down a corporation or whatever, I feel really stressed when I'm talking to them. And I know they want to talk to me, let alone people that like don't want to talk to me or like are more adversarial about it. Anyway, that was cool. For little Sima that wanted to go to journalism school so that she could interview bands she loved, it was very cool to like essentially end up doing that, is what I'm trying to say. So that was cool. Liam Payne died. That was less cool. I had some trouble with that. That was an interesting time. But I did make a lot of acquaintances slash new friends because we did a bunch of like memorial stuff in Toronto, which was quite cool. And we set up like a screening of This Is Us at one of the Cineplexes, which was really fun and cathartic. And it was just nice to like be around other people that understood it. It was weird though, because I did feel a bit like a lot of people were my age, but there was also a lot of like 15, 16-year-olds, and it was like, I don't know. I know I'm like a fandom elder, as like I fucking hate that phrase, by the way. It's gross. It grosses me out because it makes me think of the really annoying like I'm a fan mom, like people that are like just weird in fandom spaces, teenagers. But like I feel like a responsibility almost to sort of like guide people that are like younger and really struggling with a lot of this stuff. And so I guess it was kind of nice to be able to go to that and do that, work on that, and talk to people and comfort them and sort of, you know, let them know that like what they were feeling is not weird. It's not crazy. It's totally normal. And that tied really well, actually. Not that I did this for research, but like it really tied into a lot of the research I had been doing in school for like parasocial relationships and stuff, because I really was just learning a lot about the way parasocial relationships work, the fact that they're entirely normal. It's only really when they escalate past a certain point where it becomes an issue, but like the entire premise of just a parasocial relationship existing is a totally normal phenomenon, and there's nothing like inherently wrong about it. My paper ended up being about Dream Minecraft in school, and I'm very proud of it. I may put it online at some point. I haven't decided yet. I know I'm gonna send it to the people I interviewed, because I did interview 4 people. I want to send them copies because I am very grateful that they A, talked to me, and B, we stuck it out so long. It did take me like a full year, I think, from the time I interviewed them to like finish the paper. And it shouldn't have taken that long. I did spend half of 2024 like in a fugue state, not really paying attention. So that happened. The news is stressful. The news is shitty. Every day there's a new thing. The Pope might be dying. Plane crashes. Everything with America. Canada won the 4 Nations the other day, which was quite fun and very therapeutic. I was really fucking stressed we were gonna not win, and I was like, this would be humiliating if we don't win, but we did, so it was fine. What else? Oh, is my phone finally on? My phone is finally on. Okay, let's go on Instagram and scroll through. This is not gonna be thorough because obviously there was a period of time where I was in a bit of a fugue state and I was not putting things on Instagram, but I want to go on my Instagram feed and just scroll down and see what I can find. My 23rd birthday in January of 2023. Not my 23rd birthday. What am I saying? My 27th or 28th birthday in 2023. Holy crap, was I large then. Okay, but this fit is so cute. Look at me in my little Carmico shirt and hat. Saw Fall Out Boy in 2023 in the summer with my good friend Erica from Auto Nation, so that was quite fun. Bought some Cleona makeup. That was a lot of money. Saw 5 Seconds of Summer also August 2023, which was also really fun. I love them. This was also a look, actually. Speaking of. Very cute, very purple. September 2023, I went to Detroit for a little less than a week for my friend Nay's wedding, and I had a lot of great time. And I also learned that first of all, a beautiful wedding, but I also realized I had like a really good time in Detroit. It's a cool ass city. Like, it's a really shitty rep, I think. I had a great time. I would go back. There's stuff I wanted to see that I just didn't have time to see. My one complaint is their public transit is fucking ass, but I don't know what I expected, considering it's like the car city. And when I asked their like subreddit what public transit is like in Detroit, they laughed at me. I did buy a bus pass that I did not get use of, because I was there, mind you, for like 6 days. Like, to spend less on the bus pass than I would have spent just buying individual tickets for rides, I would have needed to take 6, I think, separate bus rides, which is not many when you're there for 6 days and like every place you go, you need to go and come back, right? So you would think, no, I used the bus four times. I was late every single time I used it. The times were never correct. Yeah, I was still Ubering all over the fucking place. It was horrible. It was horrific. American public transit makes me so grateful for Toronto, which is really sad because Toronto's public transit is not good. So the fact that this is allegedly the best or some of the best in North America is ridiculous. What are we doing? That's a whole other rant, but Detroit was fun. I went to the zoo and they had these fun little Lego orca things. I saw penguins. I went to their art museum, which was quite cool. Look, it's Van Gogh. I went to a Ren fair, the only Ren fair I've ever been to, and I met this giant Maine Coon, and I met some of Nay's friends who are quite cool. Did not mean to hit my ring light and flip things like that. Looked really cute in a flower crown, held up a snake, watched a joust, spent way too much fucking money. Sorry, my video paused. I think I was just yapping for too long. I was Dorothy with my dog as Toto. So that was supposed to be a group costume, and then the people that solicited me for the group costume did not end up actually doing the group costume, so it really was just me and my dog, which was, not gonna lie, kind of frustrating because, again, I was just gonna do my normal thing, which is a Disney villain. I was solicited to do this, and then I was the only person that actually came through after agreeing to do it, which was kind of frustrating, but I did return the costume, so it was fine, but I was irritated about it. And then for my actual Halloween day, and I went to class like this, I was the evil queen from Snow White, and I gotta say, honestly, I was taking it. Like, I just want to make sure I'm like in focus, but like, girl, I was taking it. I just, oh my god, hold on. Like, the serve, the unmatched level of cunt is like crazy. And then there's my dog. She was a mermaid. Yeah, so that was that. I met Christopher Paolini. That's a thing that happened in 2023. He put out a new book. He put out Murtagh, which I haven't read yet, but actually now that I'm done school, I can read that. Maybe I'll do some book stuff. Maybe I'll read some books and talk about them. Because I do want to get back into reading now that I don't have to read for school. But he put out Murtagh, and Murtagh's my favorite character of the original Inheritance cycle. He's like the original like boy for me. Like, truly, the grip has never let go. Obsessed with him. But anyway, it was really cool to meet him. He was so nice, and I went like straight after class, so I kind of did look a mess. But it was so like lovely to meet him. He's so funny. He's such like a genuinely nice guy. Everybody else who was there was really nice. This one girl let me like switch tickets with her for the signing line because she was eating food, and she was like, well, I don't need to go right now. You can take my ticket that's like for like road 2, and I'll take yours for like group 8 or something. And so we swapped because she was like, and she was like, okay, great, well, let's do this, because I was like, I have to go home to my dog. And so that was really nice. He's really cool. He complimented me on my dragon. I was wearing a dragon necklace, a dragon earrings, and I had a dragon in my hair. I was committed to the bit. He complimented me on that, and he was just like so nice. I didn't think I was gonna get emotional, but I did, because I did start reading those books when I was like 12, and then I was like 28 meeting him, and it was like crazy to me that it had like stayed with me for that long. And he also told me that Murtagh has a really bad time in this book, which is great, because I specifically was like, listen, he's my favorite. I love him. I love when he suffers. How much does he suffer? And he was like, he suffers quite a bit. And I was like, great, thank you so much, Chris, you understand me. Then it was my birthday again, January 2024. Oh, my 2024 birthday is maybe one of the best I've had in my life, actually. So like the actual party stuff happened like before, I think I did it like a couple days before. I didn't take photos for some reason, but I went to this all you can eat sushi dim sum place that I've gone to a couple times that I really love. First of all, can we just look at the fit? Look at the fucking fit. Like, the fit is fitting. It's actually crazy. Like, the serve, the unmatched level of contometry off the chart. There's my dog. She's beautiful. Anyway, this is the exciting thing. I went to see Six the Musical on my actual birthday. Like, on January 23rd, I was seeing Six the Musical, which was quite fun. There's my dad. And then it's so fun. I'm just trying to have some fun. Don't worry, don't lose your head. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. You can LOL, you can say oh well, you can try, but I'm unbreakable. All you want to do your best, till I stand the test. You'll find that I've got a heart of stone. This is the bit. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell in that video, but the first beginning bit with Anne Boleyn and she points at me, and then the last little bit that it's in the video that I recorded where you can hear Anne of Cleves do her bit and she also looks at me at the beginning, it's because I was wearing a crown that said birthday queen that I specifically deliberately got for this explicit purpose. And then I wore it again my birthday this year actually, but it was specifically to go because I knew I was gonna go see Six the Musical on my birthday. And I specifically wore it, and then I knew I was gonna be in the second row. Like very specifically, I picked that seat on purpose. I was like, I wanna be close enough that if they want to see my crown, they can see it. And I planned, and I hoped, I really hoped, but I was like, obviously, like I can't guarantee anything, but I was so hoping, because I know there's a couple bits. Because I'm a bootleg watcher, okay? I don't fuck with this stupid thing theater does where they just gatekeep the shit out of everything unless you have hundreds of dollars, and more than that if you have to travel to see something. I think it's bullshit, okay? Frankly, it's stupid. It's dumb. Because it's the same exact logic. They're like, oh, well, if we put it out there, people aren't gonna come see it. That's the same exact logic as concerts. Nobody doesn't go to concerts because you can listen to the CD. That's dumb. You go to the concert for the experience of the concert, and then you get like a fraction of that experience listening to the CD. But if the CD is good, I'm gonna wanna go to the concert. So like, why would you not? Anyway, I don't know why I'm bitching about this. Like, I have any intention of seeing musicals that actually are like classic musicals to begin with, or any kind of play. I have deliberately gone out of my way to see 3 pieces of theater, like on purpose. Hamilton, which is like rap and hip hop. So it doesn't, to me, I know it's a musical theater, but listening to it, my brain is like, oh, we're just listening to music. Six the Musical, same thing. I know it's musical theater, but it just feels like you are at a concert and the songs feel like you're listening to pop music. So again, it's great. And then Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. The effects are really fucking cool, and like Scorpius and Albus are my children, so it doesn't really matter what the format would have been. I would have been seated regardless. However, I do maintain that I would have enjoyed that just as much, if not more, if they just fucking made it into a movie or something. But that's neither here nor there. Those are the only times I've gone out of my way to see any kind of theater content. And any other time I have either been exposed to it or just been taken to it or seen a clip or whatever, it's always been kind of like, sometimes it's fine. Like, it's not like every time I see it I start like, you know, like seething or anything like that, but it's just like, I don't get it. It's just not for me, except for those 3 cases where it has been for me, which has also been why I'd gone out to see it, is because I'd seen something else and been like, oh, I can fuck with this actually. But anyway, so I deliberately went to Six the Musical on my birthday, wore the birthday crown thing, and because I'd seen like bootlegs and stuff, I know there's like audience participation, especially during, not so much audience participation, but there's a couple moments where like they do call out like people in the audience. And I know specifically Anne of Cleves' song has a bunch of that. I think there's like at least 2 different instances. And so there's 3 separate bits in the musical. But I don't know if actually, in my head I have the number 3, but I don't know if I'm including what I just showed you guys as 3, because that's not really part of the musical. The song they do at the end, they deliberately like let you film it and stuff. It's like an extra number basically. But the first 2 ones are both in Anne of Cleves' song, and they're really funny. Like, she'll point to you, she'll make you stand up and start dancing, and it's just like, it's just really fun. And I like, usually I think she goes to different people, but she came to me every single time, and that was just like a really fun, really cool, really special experience. I kind of had tried to like get going for myself, but the fact that it actually happened was really exciting. And then I went afterwards on Instagram and I found the actress who plays her in Toronto, and I messaged her and I was like, listen, I don't know if you remember me, but I was like the birthday girl at the show the other night, and like, you like made my whole birthday, thank you so much, you guys were great. And she responded, she was super nice about it. She was like, of course I remember you, I'm glad you had a great birthday. It was cute, it was like a really good time. So that was awesome. I got my free Starbucks, I got my free Baskin Robbins. I'm trying to not really do Starbucks right now for like boycott reasons, but I figured when it's a free thing, you are taking the money from them, so I thought that was probably fine. Went to Los Angeles, end of February, beginning of March 2024. I went to Los Angeles. I went to the Los Angeles Zoo. I walked around Hollywood. I saw the Walk of Fame. I saw the Hollywood sign. I went on a very fruitless, unsuccessful quest for Neopets pins at the Hot Topic in Hollywood. Didn't work. They said on the website they had pins. Was the Galleria Hot Topic? Anyway, I looked for them. I could not find them. They said they had them on the website. They lied to me. Went to Disneyland. I spent 3 days at Disney. I did 2 days at Disneyland and 1 day at California Adventure. I shouldn't have done it. It was way too much fucking money, but I was like, when am I ever gonna come back here? And when am I ever gonna have the opportunity to do this again? I might as well, while I'm here, do it on the off chance that I just never come back, right? So we put it on the credit card. It was financially stupid, but I was like, I have to do it. I have to do at least 3 days because everybody I've talked to says you need like at least 4 to 5. And I was like, okay, I can't do that because that's the whole trip. But I also can't do 1 day. My mom was like, can't you just do 1 day? I'm like, Mom, it's 2 separate parks, first of all, with separate admissions. So no, absolutely not. It has to be minimum 2. And all of the research I did, because I'm a serial researcher for both this trip and my Detroit trip, I made like spreadsheets. I did a Google map with like a bunch of different like things I wanted to go see so that I could group things based on like location. It was a lot. It was really extra. But I went to California Adventure. And I did 1 day at California Adventure and 2 days at Disneyland because everything that Google told me was that Disneyland is much bigger and you need way more time for Disneyland than you do for California Adventure. And so I thought, okay, I can probably, if I really commit, if I get there early and I really have a game plan, I can probably do not everything, but all of the open rides at both. And I did that for the most part. I think I did every single ride at Disneyland that was open, which Splash Mountain was closed because they were converting it to the Tiana ride. And then there was a couple other things that were like closed for renovations, but everything that was open at Disneyland I did do. And then I did everything at California Adventure except 2 of the Cars rides, but I'm not even sure if one of them was open. So rides wise, I kind of covered my bases. I did get everything done. A lot of the other like peripheral stuff that sounded really cool, I didn't actually have like an opportunity to go do. I just didn't have time, which was a bummer, but it's fine. I still had a good time. I'm glad I went with the game plan that I did. It was cool. I will say it's way too fucking crowded, dude. I don't know how to phrase this. I was lucky that when I went, it was pouring rain in Los Angeles. Apparently they were having like a crazy amount of like unnatural amounts of like flooding and rain. And so it was wet as fuck. And the first like 2 days I was there, it was like miserable. It was so wet. I was literally running around Disneyland with a raincoat on. And so the park allegedly was way emptier than it usually is. And it was still so fucking crowded, I wanted to die. And then my last day at Disneyland, because I did Disneyland, I did California Adventure, then I did 1 more day of Disneyland. And my last day of Disneyland was like the first like sunny day where it wasn't pouring rain. And it was claustrophobic. It was so dire. And it was good because I finally saw a parade because they weren't doing the parades when the weather was bad. Yeah, no, it was crazy. I was like, I don't know. People that come to Disneyland like every weekend, what the fuck is wrong with, how do you do it? I wanted to like, literally I've never wanted to just start like swinging on people more in my life. It was so packed. It was like insane. I was like, this is not sustainable. I don't even know how people do it without fast passes because I shelled out for the fast passes or the lightning lanes or whatever because I was like, again, I have limited time. I have 3 days. I'm not gonna be able to do everything, but I'm gonna do my damnedest well to try to at least get all the rides in. If I want to do that, I have to be strategic with my lightning lanes, which is what I ended up doing. But oh my fucking god, was it an ordeal. But I had fun. Disneyland was fun. What else did I do? We went to Universal. Universal was also an experience and a half because, first of all, can I just say, where's the photo? Look at me like staring lovingly at fucking Loki in California Adventure. I was so flustered. I was like unreal levels of flustered. It was crazy. I was like I hadn't cared to meet any of the characters. And then I saw Loki and I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need to meet him. And then it became a whole thing where I ended up meeting people and getting them to sign all my shit. And it was fun. I had a good time, honestly. It was fun. For all the bitching I literally just did about how crowded it was, I had a great time. It was just fun to like just be like, first of all, look, I hugged Winnie the Pooh. Like, hello, come on. I hugged Winnie. That was so cute. Yeah, so for as annoying as it was also like, it was an experience. I'm glad I did do it the one time. I went to Universal. I went to, what else did I do? I had some tacos. I really deliberately went out of my way to like locate tacos because I was like, I can't leave Los Angeles having not had tacos. This is everything I've heard is street tacos, street tacos, street tacos. So I did go out of my way to have street tacos. I had some really fucking good Persian food because they have a really big like Persian community in Los Angeles. Tehrangeles. Anyway, I had some really fucking good Persian food. Maybe some of the best. I had in my life. It was so expensive. My poor mother. It was me, her, my brother, and I think our meal was like $200 US. And to be fair, we did all get appetizers and then like the full meal. And so I don't think we got dessert. I don't recall getting dessert, but maybe we did. But I definitely know we all got appetizers. And usually when I go out with my family, we don't. We get like, everyone gets an entree, maybe a drink, that's it. And it was already kind of an expensive place. So we really went all out. But my poor mother. But yeah, Universal was really fun. I thought the Mario Land was quite cool. The like ride that takes you through like all the 3D stuff, the Jaws stuff was quite cool. Unfortunately, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter was really fucking cool, but I'm really proud of myself because I didn't spend any, besides the food we ate, which was like park food. It was like I'd have to order something in the park anyway, and everything I read was like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter food is better than all the other food. And I was like, I don't know how much of this would actually be going to like Joanne, as opposed to just like it's food at the park. So besides the food I got, I didn't spend any money. Which, like, on one part end, I was so sad. But I, A, just didn't spend a lot of time, like, going through the shops, but B, like, couldn't. Because the stuff I did see was really cool. But I'm also very proud of myself for, like, it's so patting myself on the back. But I don't know, like, it was, like, as much as it's, like, I want to pretend it's really easy to be like, well, she fucking sucks, so it's really easy to just cut the cord and not give a shit anymore. Like, Harry Potter was really important to me, and this was a place I really wanted to go when it first opened. I was like, I'm never gonna be able to go here, ever. And I was so jealous of everybody that was able to go. And so to finally be there and then have to make the, like, moral decision of, like, not buying any cool merch that's, like, completely unique to that place, or doing X, Y, or Z that's, like, totally unique. It was a hard decision, but I'm proud of myself for having made it. I'm gonna be honest with you. But the sets were cool, I will say that. Like, I'm so sorry, like, it was cool, okay? I'm not gonna pretend it wasn't. The rides were fun. I met Hello Kitty. I looked like I got punched in the face because one of my contacts fell out and I didn't have my glasses, so I had to cover like one of my eyes all day, but I had makeup on. And it was raining, so it kept getting smudged. And so every time I took it off, because I didn't want to like look like a fucking pirate taking photos with Hello Kitty, it was just like a mess of black under my eye, which was quite funny. But Hello Kitty was nice. There was another day at Disneyland. There was another Disneyland. What did I eat? I went to In-N-Out. It's overrated. I'm so sorry, Californians. In-N-Out is overrated. Oh, this is the Persian food I mentioned. It was so fucking good. Holy shit. These little kebab things were probably my favorite thing I ate at Disneyland, actually. Mickey pretzel. That was my one Wizarding World of Harry Potter food. I had fish and chips, and then I had a butterbeer. Went to Beverly Hills. Went to this cool apartment building that one of my friends recommended because there's a cool mural outside. What else? What else? There was Persian New Year. This was just a selfie. Went out with friends. Oh yeah, I went to One of a Kind show with Mickey and Kiva, and I spent way too fucking much money. I can't go to stuff like this. I've realized I buy a lot of impulse shit and then I don't even use it. I bought so much fucking food and honey that I didn't eat. It's just still in here in my house. I bought a bunch of craft stuff. I only did like half the craft stuff. It's ridiculous. It's obnoxious. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have to get stuff that I like is not like perishable or like consumable is what I have to do. I have to get like a mug or something and then call it. I did put all the wall art I got up. So like again, like stuff that's consumable, I just cannot be relied on to like finish in a timely manner, honestly. What else? Went out for mocktails in April of 2024. Saw some, oh my god, the eclipse happened. That was cool. Guys, the total solar eclipse was fucking cool. I had to like leave town. I had to go to like Hamilton or Burlington or something with Mickey because like the light pollution in Toronto is like too dire, and also I think Toronto was like a crumb out of totality. So I was like, okay, let's go to Burlington, which is in totality. And it was cool. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just weird, but like a really, sorry, I don't know what the fuck's going on with my eye. It was just really like surreal and cool. I was really proud, like excited to see it. It didn't feel real. I did look with glasses because I'm not an idiot, but it was a really cool experience. I was really glad I did it. I dabbled in SFX makeup. Sorry, this is not real, by the way. This wound is not real. I was dabbling in SFX makeup and I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I might do more of that actually on the channel, just doing more dabbling in SFX makeup because I thought that was quite fun. And I think for like my first attempt, it was pretty okay. I think I have work to do, obviously, but I think I did a decent job for it being my first time. What else? What else? Luna's birthday. Went to see Challengers, which was a fucking banger. I took myself on a date like to go to see Challengers in VIP. Had a great ass fucking time. What a great movie. What a great fucking mocktail fishbowl. Look at that. Look at the size of that thing. And I had tacos, but like look at the mocktail fishbowl. That's the important part of this. It was huge. It was great. I had a great time. Moved, and then this farm boy, we have a farm boy near us, and got some non-alcoholic beverages from the farm boy, and everything that was trying to be every actual non-alcoholic beverage sucked ass, actually. Everything that was like juice adjacent was beautiful, lovely, great, 10 out of 10. Mickey's birthday was quite fun. I started playing Pokemon Go again as a result of that because other people were playing it at Mickey's birthday and I got back into it. I won a game. I successfully got away with murder because I gaslit everybody, which is apparently something I'm very good at doing. And I know this because I was also pretty good at it in Among Us. I think I'm really an effective liar. But only if I don't think I'm able to do it with like actual like serious stuff. I can only really do it when it like the stakes are like not what there whatsoever. Because otherwise I crack really easily, I think. Like anytime I've tried to like lie to my mother, I've cracked. But like gaslighting my friends about stuff that doesn't matter to win a game, so good at it. 10 out of 10. B visited me and we saw Deadpool and Wolverine, which was quite fun. I almost died, so they gave us free vouchers to go see another movie in VIP, which we used to go see Wicked when that came out. Oh, these are my photos from, or some of my photos from All Your Friends Fest. That was grandson. I was in his photo pit. This is a band I talked to. They were like a local band from Montreal. They were quite fun. They weren't games you play. Sucker Punch? Anyway, they were a band. They were fun. Those were the lead. There was, I think, were Kennedy and John from the Main. This was the guy from Silverstein. He was really nice. Actually, he was one of the nicest people to talk to. He was really approachable. Shane from Silverstein. There is my boy John from the Main on stage. Again, I was in the photo pit. There's Travis from We the Kings also from the photo pit. That was really surreal because again, I listened to them a lot growing up. There's Travie McCoy. Oops. Why did I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. That was Travie McCoy though, for the record. Who, again, it was very surreal because Travie was part of the whole like Fueled by Ramen decadence like situation that was really going on back in the day. And so he was pretty important to me, you know? That was an important celebrity in my life, so that was cool. There's the guy, what's his name, Tyson? Tyson from the All American Rejects. Also great, put on a great show. That was my article. And then I did a whole separate post for my Fall Out Boy photo pit photos because I wanted to yap about how much I love Fall Out Boy and how surreal this whole experience was. Look at Patrick, like look at him. The song was quite cool. Pete, Patrick, Joe, Andy. Then I immediately after that went to fucking Fan Expo. Same weekend. Got fucking robbed at Fan Expo. I bought these beautiful pieces of bronze jewelry and a shirt from Carmico. Put them in a tote bag. Someone fucking stole the tote bag. I was distraught. And Carmico, because they're angels, were nice enough to give me another one of the shirt. Because they're like, oh, you're like your loyal customer, like we trust you, like we're sorry that happened. They just gave me a new one. I didn't even want like free stuff. Obviously, I was just emailing everybody that I had like talked to or like who had booths I'd visited to be like, or like, hey, like I bought this thing from you. I was wondering if like somebody had found it and brought it back because I was like, they all are pretty recognizable. I didn't really buy like, oh, like a niche print that like is like could be anybody's print. It was like pretty recognizable stuff, like bronze jewelry. There was like one person selling that. And the Carmico stuff had like a brand on it, obviously. And so the Carmico people were like, we're gonna give you a shirt. The Tea Turtle people were just like, oh, like we'll ask our team. And they were like, no, we didn't hear anything. The bronze jewelry people, who was like 200 or so, what was it? Was it like 200 or so dollars worth of jewelry that I lost or was stolen from me or whatever? They didn't even respond. They didn't even get back to me with a no. They could have just said, no, we didn't. But they didn't get back to me at all, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But their stuff was so fucking cool that like, I'm still upset about it. But it was a really fun weekend because like before I realized I was out that much money for no reason, I had a really great time because Neopets had a booth, which was really exciting. The Neopets presence was quite strong. And I got a bunch of the wall art that you can now see all over the place in my room. What else happened? My brother got 2 kittens. They're little terrorists. They bully Luna all the time, but they're quite fun. I helped name them. My brother was gonna go kind of generic, like some kind of midnight shadow type of beat, and he was also only gonna get 1. And I was like, if you're getting kittens, you probably get 2 for the well-being of the kittens. But I talked him through landing on something that was both cool and would also suit them, but also match Luna. So we landed on NYX and Nova, which I think is brilliant. It's 10 out of 10. I'm really happy with how that turned out. These are just miscellaneous photos of me hanging out with my friends and eating good food. The Lush Minecraft collection, the Krispy Kreme Barbie collection. Got a bunch of pins and Eat-A bags that I put pins in. That looked pretty cool. Went apple picking with Mickey and Jen. That was quite fun. And then because I had so many fucking apples, I made so much apple product. I made an apple pie. I made an apple crumble. I made a shit ton of applesauce. It was good. It was good. It was a good experience for me. Hung out with Broen. Took my mom and brother for a Sebastian Stan double feature in October of 2024, where we did The Apprentice and A Different Man, both in VIP on the same night. And first of all, the look was looking, okay? Like, look at these fucking boots, man. The serve, unbelievable amounts of serve. Great movies. Sebastian Stan is such a impeccable actor, like unreal. I'm so fucking happy finally he's getting all these like nominations and like accolades and like praise for how good of an actor it is, how versatile he is. Because like obviously like those two movies are so radically different and those characters are so like they're completely different. They have completely different trajectories and stuff. So I'm really glad he's finally getting praise for it, because I've been shrieking from like I want to say like 12 to 2014 is probably where I started being like, hey man, this guy's fucking good. He's not just another like random Marvel guy. Like, not to say like like most Marvel actors aren't like good at acting, because they are, but I think Sebastian is both like incredibly gifted but also really cares about like doing interesting things. Like he doesn't really go after like easy roles, I feel like. So anyway, I'm glad he's getting what he finally deserves. Then Liam Payne died October 2024. We kind of talked about that. It was an emotional time I had to process. It took a while. Yumi at 6 was in Toronto. They played their final show in Canada. It was an opening show. They were opening for, I don't remember what the fucking band was. Enter Shakeri, actually, is who they were opening for, which I don't really listen to them, so I kind of was only really there for Yumi at 6, and which was fine. I met 4 out of 5 of them after the show, which was exciting. And I kind of just was like, listen, like I understand why you guys are hanging it up. It's been like 20 plus years, but also I'm very sad about it, but I get it. I'm sad about it, but I get it. Thank you for all the good work you've done, all the brilliant music. I'm going to miss you. I hope you have good lives. Look at Josh. Look at Josh Franceschi. Yeah, I met 4 out of 5. They were all really nice though, and that was the fit. What else? It was just a video. That was their like stage setup, which is quite cool. And then Halloween 2024, I was Maleficent, and the face turned out, because she is green. If you look it up, her skin is green. When I did my test makeup, the shade I landed on was pretty good. But then when I did it on the actual day, it turned out way greener than I'd been intending. Like it was supposed to be like a gray tinted green. But this was just very green, like just in your face, straight up green. But it was still quite fun. And then I also had like a whole issue with my contacts. But I still think it was like a serve. Like I still think I did what I wanted to do. I still think I put in the level that I expect of myself out of Halloween. So, Dan and Phil, I didn't talk about that yet. Guys, can we look at this, please? First of all, Erica. Let's talk about Erica. My beautiful, wonderful friend Erica, who I went to see Fall Out Boy with. Came back into town. We went to see, they got the tickets, and they got 2. And for the longest time, I thought they'd gotten 2 meet and greet tickets. I thought we were both meeting them. And then I found out like a couple weeks before that she only had 1 and she wanted me to have it. And I was like, no, Erica, like you're the one that got the tickets. Like, what do you mean you want me to have it? That's like too much, but they insisted, which was really, really nice of them. And I'm still so like genuinely like flabbergasted, touched, honored, think about it so much. I'm so grateful to them, would die for them. Erica, I would take every bullet on earth for you. Thank you so much. But so I met Dan and Phil, which is crazy because I've been watching them since like 2012. I really do. And this is hugely parasocial, but like I said earlier, parasocialness is fine in normal quantities. I really feel like we grew up together. Like I really do, especially me and Dan. Like I feel like me and Phil probably have like what, like a good, I don't want to say a decade, but like almost, I think, a decade. Hey Google, how old is Phil Lester?
38 years old.
Okay, 8 years. Okay, so not quite a decade, but pretty close. Yeah, like Phil is like, the difference between me and Phil is me and my brother. And like, I wouldn't consider me and my, like, yeah, we grew up together, but like not in the sense that we had like our similar phases of life at the same time. Sorry, there's dog hair everywhere. Like he was always in a different stage of life than I was, the same way I'm always in a different stage of life than my brother is. But me and Dan, because our difference is only a couple years, I really do feel like we grew up together, and that is parasocial, but I do feel it in my soul. And he really was, I think, one of the first like YouTubers, because I usually would just watch YouTube, but I would watch like band videos, or I would listen to just like watch random videos that were interesting, but I didn't really follow YouTubers. I think Dan and Phil were like the first, or one of the first YouTubers where I was like following YouTubers, like I was watching YouTube, and they were still to this day like the ones that I care about. So this was like very surreal. They were so fucking nice. They complimented my shirt. I was wearing my Mikey fucking Way My Chem shirt because I was like, I know Dan likes My Chem and I don't know when else I would have the opportunity to wear this. They were so fucking nice and so fucking tall. And then they had the pre-show, which is quite funny. They answered my question. Because actually, funny enough, the day I went to see Dan and Phil was election night in America. And so we during the Q&A, like the way their pre-shows work is there's like a box and you can drop questions into it. And so my question that I dropped into it, I dropped a couple, but the first one I thought of and the one I really wanted to get answered was I dropped in, like, did you guys plan this on purpose to be like here? And I knew the answer was probably no, because I think so far ahead that they were planning, they probably were not paying that close attention. They were like, just like, here's the period we want to tour. What can we book when? But I was like, did you guys on purpose try to be here for election day in America? And they were like, we aren't gonna say we did, but we aren't gonna say we did. They danced around the question, which I thought was really funny. And then the show itself was great. They were wonderful. I got so many bracelets. People were so fucking nice. I feel a little bit bad because there's a bunch of audience participation stuff that you have to yell out. And at one point I yelled out the word piss really loud and I was first. And so the prompt ended up being piss. And it was funny, like everybody laughed, but I also was like, oh my fucking God, I'm so sorry. But it was on brand. They talk about piss a lot. So like really it's not on me. This is when we watched the 1D This Is Us thing in Cineplex that we planned. Neopets Club had an unofficial meeting. That was fun. I went to this cool event with like journalists talking about coverage of Palestine and the kind of censorship that often happens in the media over it. That was cool. It was in December. Work holiday party, turkey in your mouth, which is like the Met Gala to me. Most incredible time of the fucking year. I got this brilliant shirt from Browen, who has been on my channel before. It says Hosier, and it has photos of Bucky Barnes on it, which I think is really funny. And then Christmas happened. And then New Year's happened, and I went and I played board games at Browen's house. And I won. I won the fucking game. I was the Lightbreaker Queen Princess baddie, and I won. Look at her. Hold on, if it can load. Look at her. I won, which is quite exciting for me. And then I turned 30 last month. That was scary. And that's when the birthday queen crown made a comeback. My birthday party was interesting. I had fun. We did a Hear Me Out cake. I did a presentation on how feral I am about various men. And it was good. We played Down Bad for Pathetic White Boys Bingo. Also my thing. And then look, Emma and Amanda and Browen made my cake. I think mostly Emma, but they're all a family unit to me, so really all of them made my cake. And it says, happy birthday, Sima. Rip your 20s. I kind of gave them a loose idea of what I wanted, and they executed it beyond my wildest dreams. Browen, with Elaine's help, made a presentation about hypothetical Dungeons and Dragons characters and which ones I would think are most dateable, so that was really fun. I got some wares. And then February 12th, I went to this school thing. It was like an exhibition with a bunch of people from school called Vibrant Visions. It was about girlhood in Canada, in Black women, or Black girlhood in Canada. And that was quite interesting. And then today I went out to do tabletop RPG Neopet style. And that's where I'm at. I think I've given you guys most of my major life updates. All the concerts I've seen, the stuff I'm doing, the stuff I was doing, my plans going forward for the channel and the situation. There was one other thing I thought about that I was about to say I'm also going to do on the channel, but I can't remember, so it clearly wasn't that important. The point being, we are so back, and I will be coming back with more structured content very soon, and I'm hoping you guys will stick around And I'm hoping this video after I edit it will not be like an hour and a half long, but we'll see because I've been yapping for a while. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can follow me on socials. I'm on, really not on Twitter all that much, but you can follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky or YouTube. Obviously, subscribe to me here. Give me a like. Would love to have you. Instagram. I don't really use TikTok very much anymore either. And Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch where I do try to stream, or I will be trying to stream at least once a week. Would love to have you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. You're the best. I will see you guys later.